Hey man, that was there. I need to play that just to get my
All gas.
all gas, no break. Jeez. Yo, man. Okay, all righty. It's
Man,
going down right now.
yo, and that's like 12:30 at night.
Yo, some
Crazy.
serious. It's some serious stuff going on in the universe right now, boy. God dang. I'm gonna bring my mic closer. You can see what's going on. If you're listening to the audio, hey man, listen. They're playing for keeps out here, brother. That's all I can say. Man,
Straight up.
hey,
Straight up.
they playing for keeps out here, man. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Hard body, huh?
Yes, it's just a lot happening out here, man. That's yo, man. Show's over. We'll be back. I got to hear this. This is man. All right. Golly. Woo. Okay. Hey, welcome everybody back
Yes.
to our scheduled programming.
Happy Saturday.
Hayward CPA Live, the official podcast of Hayward CPA PLLC. I'm gonna position the sponsors of this podcast, the eternal sponsors, right here. We're here today for another great episode. You know, one of the few podcasts that I know of that you can get a couple of people of our position, clearly our stature, like for various reasons, credentials both on and off the screen, and have access, man. That's how it's going down, man. We give you access.
No doubt.
You're not behind the curtain, but you're certainly not behind the curtain, but pure access. So I'm just gonna leave it at that.
No doubt.
So anyway, man, yeah, it's the Grand Imperial over there. I mean, on the you having a pretty nice week, pretty nice. So
Yeah, pretty solid week.
yeah, you have it. They had the growth lab jump off.
Yeah. Founders Hour Growth Lab, which was pretty solid, man. Pretty solid.
Yeah, no, that's good stuff. So yeah, tell the people tell people about it, about the Founders Hour.
Founders Hour, yeah, it's an hour for founders, small business owners, just to come and chat, hang out, talk to like-minded business owners, whatever you challenge with, whatever you currently working on, everyone shares. It's a no judgment zone, no compete zone. The ability to share your information, exchange information, and possibly, create a venture. Something will come out of it. The more we engage in this Founders Hour every other Thursday. So we just had it just this Thursday. The next one is April 30th at 1 p.m. Check all social medias at Biz Therapy Coaching for the link. And you can come on and join in. But it's good. That's my, come on, Lola.
Oh,
Lola, what are you?
Third host right there.
Come on.
Yo, this is live television, people. You don't get this anywhere else. It's going down. we got Canine Affection live and direct.
She is outside and she's ready to go.
Oh wow!
Don't come over here. See, don't come. You messing up my desk.
Yo, that's what I'm talking about.
She's my assistant.
I see.
She's just off today. She was over here taking a nap behind me, right?
Wow.
Found this hour, man. Just come on out. Right? Can you hear me?
Come out, check it out. So that would be every other. Oh, we got to put the link to sign up. It's free, by the way. Say it's by free. Yeah. It's free. So get that going on. And the other housekeeping, I got and we'll get yours up on here popping up. But just want to tell people about a little. I don't even know where I have it right here. I was gonna put the link up. That's what I'm doing.
I got you.
Yeah. But yeah, man, we got some things going on around here. Like, jeez Louise. So, like, but we have a workshop coming up next week. On this, it actually exactly a week from today, we'll be doing a workshop, a live workshop. It won't be on air, so you got to show up to see it. You have to be there or be square next week,
or be square.
Yeah, to be in effect. So yeah, there's your Founders Hour thing. There, the next one is April 30th, 2026 at 1:00 p.m. So for those that want to be down or want to get down or want to try to, do what they want to do in business, it's an open chat. It's very good, very good, very good, very good. A lot good dialogue. It's kept down to a limited number of people, and I think you should join. And so, with that being said, you know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
Yeah. Let me hit him, son. Let me hit him. Let me hit him with the rhythm. You know what I'm saying? I got some other rhythm right here. With that being said, because this is a monkey see, monkey do league. This is a no, it's not about that. But anyway, but we do in the meantime, on the 25th of April, bam, what? You've heard about it. You've heard the term come up here and there. You all off on. We talked about BYOB. What is BYOB? It sounds cool. I don't know what it does. So I'm saying, what is it? BYOB. Why you should be your own bookkeeper. Live webinar coming up next Saturday. I am very pumped up for it. We only have 15 seats available, and they're moving pretty good. So you want to sign up, and it talks about some of the things we want to cover. Definitely, we're going to talk about real-time data, a system to get your things together. But the point too, the underlying point of this workshop, no matter how many times it happens, is that bookkeeping, data, accounting is for the owner. No one external. It's for the owner. It's for the person that is running the business, or the people that are running the business. We have to break out of the mindset that we just do books to do our taxes. This starts here. I'm not letting up on this. We have to let go of that. We have to evolve and change the mindset that we're doing the books as that is oh gosh, oh my, it's a necessity. It's a necessity for you. So at the bottom it says, so you can stop guessing, start growing, start making the money you want, and start being successful and ultimately having a happy life. Okay, let's just put it out there. All right. So we'll get back to this later in the show. I'm going to put the link up to register. That'll run through the show. But we want you to do it April 25th incidentally, you still in the mix. Incidentally, at the Greater Durham Black Chamber of Commerce office, where somebody has a position over there, right? So somebody does a little something over there, participates over there. Someone else that's on this call. He's a son, he's a big deal over there. My man right here. So
no, don't tell nobody.
See, this is why not? Why not? This is part of the sucker free movement. You can't let the suckers win.
No, don't tell anybody.
I'm just saying.
Let them judge for themselves. Well, you're judging for yourself, so you have the right.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I mean, is it official? It's official though, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's official, of course.
Oh, I wasn't sure if it was, but it's official.
Yeah.
Fine. He's the vice chair of the board over there. Okay. So, you know, he's up here being all, you know, low key. He's the vice chair of the board. So we're doing it MLK, appropriately on MLK Junior Parkway, which in Durham, ironically, is not in the hood. But so yeah, anyway, we can get into that. But next Saturday is there. We'll remind you at the end of the show about both events coming up. So that's just talks about we're headed to in another direction out here now where we're doing more stuff. We're getting out with the number one, we're getting among the people. That's what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Because humanity is going through a time right now. We're going through a lot. We're going through a lot of stuff right now. A lot. And there's always uncertainty, but there's a lot of uncertainty, like to the point that people are just like kind of messed up right now. So, and I think between what's happening and what's going on in the way that information moves so fast, it's being hard for people to process what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're having a difficult time dealing, which ironically is the subject of our show today. Allow me. So the subject of the show today is surviving the chaos. That's right. There you go, people. That's right. Like we surviving the, you know, it's hey, I mean, what more can I say, right? Surviving the chaos. Look, I just put it there big so surviving the chaos. All right.
Yeah.
I'll let you start. Because you good at that.
Surviving the chaos.
Yeah, like it business is chaotic anyway, in
Yeah.
a good way, if things are happening.
Yeah.
But none of us are away from the greater world. No one's on the island, so we all affected by whatever else is happening in the environment.
Absolutely.
Oh, so we talk a lot about systems, and we talk about the basic systems, the fundamental systems of business. But we also talk about, and especially from a hey, Beta, hey, happy birthday, by the way. So we talk about, we talk about the human aspect. Biz therapy is really touched on the human aspect. Like over here, we get a little more technical, but the human aspect is over there with biz therapy. So a system to deal with the chaos of the world while still trying to utilize your systems to reach your goals or keep working. So
Mm-hmm.
that's a great biz therapy um you know chat there. I'm saying, yo boy, you got your killer over there. I mean,
He left me, man. He left me.
you
Something else. Who knows?
yeah. So but it's talking about like we have it's so many. I mean, some of it we call distraction. Some of it, but when you put it all together, it's chaos. I
Yeah,
mean,
but this, chaos is surviving the chaos is there's chaotic and then there's chaos, right? Chaotic is just stuff is just out of control. Control chaos is I like to say there's no challenge, no change. So if there's no chaos, there's no movement of particles
mhm.
for regrowth, right? Um, you know, There's so many different avenues, so many different ways to do it. I think um, one of the things we had talked about on KWK was being able to have a support system, almost like an advisory team, right? But it's very informal. You know, you got formal and then you have informal. But you know, I think the most important piece is you're able to have a sounding board, and you're able to talk through the chaos. And at any given moment too, right? Not to
Mhm.
bombard people, not to just talk about things just haphazardly, even though there might be moments of that because you know you built up a little bit of pressure and tension. You need to get it off your back. However,
Absolutely. Hmm.
surviving the chaos is it's a team. It's a team sport.
Yeah.
It's not an individual sport.
Hmm.
You know, mhm.
No,
That
no, I was going to say that goes into something. I think when we talk about the system, I guess HR, whatever system, when we go to 7 systems, um, traditionally you thinking employees, contractors, stuff like that. But
I'm gonna hold. So I'm gonna mute for a second.
okay, but using getting a team or if advisors is just as important, or one advisor or whoever you can get is just as important as who you hire to quote unquote work. And I'm just now kind of thinking about this on the fly right now. Like I don't think that comes up, especially when you have a solo practitioner, solopreneur who says, "Oh, it's just me. Um, I can't hire anybody. I don't have any money to hire people." But finding and it might be somebody that's a consultant to you or a coach, but putting together people around you so that you're not on an island by yourself. It doesn't necessarily mean they work for you. It could be just as much people that could bring different things to you, and one of them just to pick you up when it's bananas. You know, I mean, we all serve that role for different people in life. I
Mm-hmm.
do it for business in life. In one of my ventures, I kind of do that daily, but it's necessary because when you're running and you're building, it's lonely, and you're gonna face disappointment almost daily, maybe hourly. Like you're gonna run up against something like whatever your plan was, whether it's written or in your mind, it's not gonna work the plan. And the resilience to deal with that chaos, that's the internal chaos, is strong against the external chaos. Every 2 minutes, the president this, we did that. We at war. Gas is $20 a gallon. Steak is $50 a gallon. You
Mm-hmm.
know, the violent acts that happen. All these other things that you don't isolate from them. I mean, it's hard. I mean, we're too connected.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to isolate yourself. So you get into this mental state, and I'm starting with the mental before we go into the technical stuff, because to be a founder or be a business owner or entrepreneur, however you describe yourself, you have to have a mental resilience,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to be tenacious about protecting your mental resilience and your mental well-being,
Mm-hmm.
because no matter what, you're a leader. You're a leader. You're a leader of yourself. Because people always say, people, I don't know if people say it. I'm gonna stop saying that, but let's think about this. People say, "Well, I work for myself," but do you? You do, but do you really understand what that means? So, because when you work for yourself, there's no supervisor looking for you to clock in. So, what do you have to do? You have to be the supervisor and the employee.
Mm-hmm.
All right. There's an accountability factor. It's so in order to do that, you have to have a certain type of mental resilience to understand that and accept that and say, hey, I'm both these things. I got to get up. I got stuff. And the hardest part is doing it when you don't have a pressing deadline. When you just have to get up. But the hardest is when things are going good. We'll talk about that in another episode. But being able to be resilient through tough time is the characteristic you need to go through the chaos. We could talk more about the the tactical level, but strategically, you got to be, you have to be able to get there and be there. So
so to your point, let's give some background, a little more background. It's fatigue, right? You're fatigued in trying to survive the chaos, and that there's decision making aspects of that. There's inconsistency of things. Wearing many hats, multiple hats. I just talked to a guy the other day, and he was just talking about how many hats he has to wear, and he was fluent through the conversation. Like, yeah, I wear this hat, I wear that hat, I wear this hat, and I do this, and I got to do this, and he was, wasn't complaining or anything. It was just a straight. We were having a discovery conversation to try to see where the gaps are, so we can bridge those gaps. But he got so used to wearing the hats that he got comfortable being uncomfortable, and then comfortable again wearing the hats. Now, when that happens too, you put on certain blinders so you don't take in the effects of a lot of the chaos. But those blinders can, what I've come to experience, even for myself, those blinders inhibit you from seeing what you need to see.
Yeah.
Right. Because it creates you intentionally put on blinders, which creates unintentional blind spots.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Period.
Right? And then you feel like some of the progress you might make doesn't really line up or equate to the effort. Right? Because you're like, all right, I'm making some progress, but I didn't. A box got checked, but am I satisfied with that box getting checked? Or is it something I just have to allow to get checked and then circle back to it? But by the time you get back to it, it won't be too late, but you've already way down the road just to come back.
You got another set of boxes by the time you come back. You're like, oh, yeah, well, that's part of the chaos. And I think that's where I'm going to say that's part of the chaos in what you're trying to do. And then you have external chaos that's going on too. So my thing is you have to get some order to the chaos, at least the one you can control. Saying the internal chaos. And you had to put yourself in a position, henceforth create a system for dealing with chaos. That's not in the book. You know what I'm saying? The chaos system ain't in there.
Get a workflow system.
Yeah.
Digitize yourself. Yeah, we still writing notebooks. Digitize yourself. That's the only way you can begin there.
Yeah, but I'm looking at it, I have the sociological hat on today.
Of course.
No, you know what I'm saying? Okay. The person, your system for dealing with chaos. How do you deal with it? How do you deal with stress? And what I'm going there is because unless you do that, when we get into the technical things and things looking at, and I'll talk about it from the accounting standpoint, and that you're not going to be able to lock into it. If you're not able to say, to focus, especially if something that's not what you do, you're not going to be able to focus on some of these tools, for some of these tactics. It's not. I mean, it's example, like the easiest chaos to talk about is when you short, your money short. It's the hardest thing in the world to do.
You're right. But let me throw this at you too, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not that your money is not necessarily that your money is short, even though that is a thing. But it's like, where is the next dollar coming from?
No, yeah, that's what I
Right?
mean.
Yeah, two
Yeah.
different things. Money's
Oh,
short because your money could be short for a period, but you'll have some collectibles. But your
yeah.
money's short, and you like, where is it coming from next?
Well,
Double that.
see, I combine them because I've been so long that every day I
Yeah,
get
well,
old.
that's you because you've
I
been doing
know
it
that's me.
for
I know. I'm just saying.
75 years.
Yeah.
You know,
No, that's a good distinction.
that for our newer business owners that's maybe 10 years in and less, right?
Yeah.
They can't bundle that up. That there's an especially 3 to 5 year people, they can't put that together. There's no such thing as a together thing for them.
Well, yeah, I get it. I know it's experience. I understand that. That's why we here. You know, say it like that because I'm like, I'm like, what's the difference? I was like, so the thing is, because the reason I say it's together because once you cut the cord, you don't know where it's coming from. You at your percent of idea, like it's never 100%. Well, heck, with a job it ain't 100% neither because you know who knows. But what I'm saying
Well,
is
you should give fair warning.
what fair warning about
So
what?
they're gonna cut you. They're gonna you get
Yeah,
even
most
if
cases.
you don't know you getting fired, you still got another check in the mail or
Yeah,
two.
yeah, yeah. So it's different, but
Yeah.
in this, you get there. But to the point, either one of those scenarios, I would get to the point. It is difficult, even more with the one that you pulled out when you don't know where your next dollar is coming from. That is the hardest time to be productive. That is like you have to really mentally tell yourself that I mean, well, it's hard to tell. So this is what I'm saying. I'm really on this duality thing that I'm developing. Who knows what it leads, but it's the owner in you saying this work has to be done because it moves to the next. It's going to take us to the next spot. It's doing whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the person / employee in you like, yo, I mean, I ain't got no where my money gonna come from. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what's different when you work a job on Thursday night, you could care less where your check come from. It just better be there. I don't have to worry about that. That's why I work for you. I don't have to worry about that. When it's just you,
Mm-hmm.
you can't, the employee can't slide that off on somebody else because you the boss.
Mm-hmm.
so
Yeah.
but the point I was saying is that back to the mental resilience is that you I mean the number of mind games you got to play with yourself to be in business. And people know it's serious. Like you really have to condition your mind to do this. And the more hope you have, the better shot you have, but you have to because you can't let down. Because like say you have a and I'm telling you people from experience. This is not something I read in a book. When you have to do a process in order to potentially get paid, where you're not going to get paid right now, you're not going to get paid tomorrow. You might get paid in 3 months, but I'll keep it in 30 days. You know what I'm saying? 30 to 45. All right. But you have to perform to your best today to get paid in 30 to 45 days, maybe?
Yeah, well, see, now there's another splinter in that, is because to what you're saying is you still got to deliver the value.
Yeah.
You still got to
Still gotta
deliver
do it.
the experience, because if not, that 30 to 45 days might look like never, or 60 to 90, depending on the experience of the customer.
Yeah.
because you got other things getting in the way. So, like you said, it's a balance, man.
And that's what I'm saying. So that's chaotic by itself.
Yeah.
Like you have to be, but it's the definition of being, in some ways, is one way of defining a professional. That you show up the way you show up. And as a business owner, you're a pro.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You have to show up. But I think that also puts context when I say to people, don't ever go into business because you want to make money. Like I've said to people like, if your only reason to start the business is to get paid, you might want to go for a psych evaluation because it is. Look, man, it is. I'm telling you, there has
Yeah.
to be more to it.
Yeah, it has to be it has to be bigger than you.
Yeah, it has to be because these times that we're describing here, there's no money. You still got to work. It's no money. Even in the short term, like if you take back in, you don't get paid. You start working, you get paid on your the agreement is for you to get paid on the back end,
Hmm.
but your bills ain't got that same agreement.
No.
Your bills is today. I'm under pressure, but I gotta go. I gotta know I gotta do another 2 hours on this project. I'm getting paid on later.
Hmm.
Very difficult.
Hmm.
Very difficult to focus. Phone ringing, baby crying, all this other stuff, and you got to focus and do that. But it's mental resilience. And that's an example. So that's what you start building that muscle. You start building the muscle to say, okay, you know, some of us build it different way. Me, myself, I got this from Senor Hayward. Just because look, people, I've been through this plenty of times. I'm not, I mean, hey, I could be through it next week. Don't. I want people to understand this, and that's one of the good things I want to make clear about this show is that we speaking from what we experienced. This not, you know, like, yes, I was watching a movie because they don't make movies about accountants or nothing, except for the accountant, but it was about him being a killer. But the point is this: it's like that. What happens is when you worry about money, you spend more energy worrying about the money than going to generate. That's what it happens. You end up spending a lot of money worrying, and then you don't do that 2 hours on that project.
Well, they say because you once you do, the more you worry about it, the more you push it away because you focused on it and not focused on
Yeah,
what it takes to bring it in.
exactly. And then, so it's not the consistency to do what you need to do, and then also it's like I take that and I say, man, the more you chase money, the faster it runs away from you. That's is proven. I can't
Hmm.
explain it. I'm not trying to explain it. I've experienced it. First of all, when you don't have no money, it's like hard to accumulate it, man. It's so hard to accumulate money when you broke. Like it's very hard. Then you accumulate some, and if you can hold on to some, you start accumulating over time. It's all these things. You could put it to whatever you want. That's not the subject of this show, but you can put it to a lot of things. But in order to survive these, we describe in the chaotic things. Within that, his mental resilience. Let's say you do have employees. Things happen. You have an employee, something happens in their family life. Someone gets ill, someone passes away. They're off the chessboard. They're no longer available. Do you have something in place internally to kind of deal with that? You know, like do you have you really cross trained? If you have other people, have you really trained? Do you have it so that you could step in and still keep up what you have to do as the owner?
Hmm.
Yeah, so and so the I'm we not here to talk about like how you develop mental resilience, but you got to be resilient, people. You got to do that, and still. pay $20 for gas and $50 for steak.
With the state all together.
Yeah. So,
Get you
you
some
know,
mushrooms or something.
yeah, like, so I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, you got to be able to get through those things. And so what we man, we got tools. We'll get closer to the top of the hour. I mean, it's the tools we talk about all the time. You know, from business plan to your financial management, and especially managing your cash flow, going to look at stuff. But it goes back to what we said, why systems are important in general. I think on top of it, I think, I mean, look, we know it. We do shows individually about it. Managing your cash flow, keeping the main thing. Those are the things that happen. But you have to be in tune to that. But I think what's so important is to be able to lock in, to be able to do that work. I think that's the harder part. I think that's the discussion point. How to be able to do that when everything's on fire. And it's an absolute skill set. It can be learned. It's not innate. It's a skill set. But I just, I don't feel like it's spoken about.
Front line and center.
Yeah.
You know. Well, I mean, you can see that because we have years and years of data of talking to people, clients, etc., that don't even have it, or have it and haven't used it. Or have it and I don't know how to use it, so I never tried it. Never got help. However, at this, I can show you my spread. I can show you my spreadsheet.
Yeah, but they're not in tune to the spreadsheet.
I understood.
Well, they just give it to you. I
Yeah.
mean, well, I some of it I think comes from people like him. I'm on here for however far this reaches. I'm a CPA and all this accountant, and I'm telling you, yeah, look, dog, it's real. I struggle just like everybody else. What's that? Still a human being to some people, but like it's admitting. I think it's because I admit business isn't easy. I also believe there's this underlying belief that people think starting, running, and growing your own business isn't that hard.
The management piece, right? 7 systems of business. It's that management piece, maintaining and managing, which is the critical part. You'll have your highs when you generating, you got noise, you getting money, people are you got your highs, and you got your back end, which is deliverables, producing, so on and so forth. Yes, 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 yes. But it's that middle piece, that management piece, that piece right there, because it's maintaining consistency. But even as you grow and as you go, there's still another level of management. But that management is still all it does is shift like this. It doesn't go anywhere. It's a constant run of management, right?
Yeah.
And so that's where stabilization falls into place. You got to be able to stabilize through to your point, through the chaos. You got to be able to stabilize at certain points, and to be able to want to have personal development, because the more you put into your personal development and build certain essential skills, will allow you to have clarity.
Yep.
Even in intense situation, because the more intense it gets, to be honest, the more intense it gets, if you can stabilize your nervous system, you can actually begin to see some clarity, and you kind of get to see what things are important, right?
Yeah.
So you can think clearly, you can decide clearly, and you can execute clearly. And it would make no mistake of the words coming out of my mouth. That's not easy to do, but you got to stay as as you say, locked into. You got to be able to stay locked in. And how do I stay locked in effectively? Not just because I'm just locked into something and I'm being redundant. And I think my effort is making the progress that's needed. Because you
Yeah,
might be,
you're locked into the wrong thing.
yeah, yeah. I yield back.
You yield back. No, you make a great point because it's staying locked in. We talk about it. You got to stay locked into your bottom line. You got to be strategic. You got to make. We use these words, but you have to be locked in. Well, back to the management part, you have to learn to manage yourself when things are not going well. And remember, and where I'm kind of leading is whether you have employees or not, your employee part of the brain has to be managed because your employee part of the brain might tell you to go back to bed. I ain't about to get paid, man. Forget this. If you
I'm about to go for a walk.
Yeah, I'm about to be. I ain't about to do. I don't want to call them. I don't know.
Let's go over there.
Yeah, let's go somewhere else. Let's
a little bit of money, go eat good or something.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna go get a good meal. Just man, whatever. Shoot,
and it's okay as long as you get back to it, though.
Yeah, as long as you come. Yeah. Those are total. We're not saying don't, and we're not saying it's not gonna happen. It's just saying that you understand it. The more you can realize it in the front end, like, okay, this, you know what? I'm out for the day. I mean, I've had plenty of days where it was just like, I'm not doing anything today.
Period. But you know what? Here's an important skill set that we didn't talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Resting.
Absolutely.
That's a skill set. You got man, let me tell you, and I'm using that lightly right now because I'm learning it now.
Mm-hmm.
Resting. Just I mean, how do you turn off the brain, find something to do? Right? But let it be restful, right? But rest, whatever that is, rest is you can either be sitting still and enjoying something and hopefully not thinking about anything, watching something inspiring or not, it takes your mind away from it. But resting, right? Whatever it is you think rest is, get some rest, because the rest part is the piece that allow you to get through the chaos. And we're not saying 10, 12, 13 hours either, but rest as much as you can in between time. Find some time to just rest.
Yep. And that's super important.
Taking that for advantage is a big deal, right?
Yeah. I mean, but I'm learning. Hey, listen, that's something the kid is learning, has learned and learned, because you turn it. You basically told to burn the candle on both ends and the middle. That's the attitude you have. But I think just to slide in the hot topic, this is where technology and specifically this AI movement is about. Because I'll tell you, I'll use an example. The work for the the collateral for the workshop next week. Do you know I spent all last weekend from Friday? I was like, oh man, I got to do this stuff, man. I got to, now this is the tax deadline is coming around the corner. I'm in my mind like this, man, I need to do it. I need to do it. All right. Yeah. I don't feel like doing it. Man, it's going to mess it up. Yeah. Man, maybe I shouldn't do it next week. All this stuff. So going last week. And then eventually I went through my process. I say I'm not going to discuss my process because everybody got a different process. And I ended up saying, you know what? You don't do work on Saturday and Sunday. And it's not about, it might have started on like a moral, but listen, Saturday, Sunday, I do other stuff. And it's just, I accept it. Like I know, like it has to be unique for me to sit down and do anything firm related on the weekend. Like it just at this point, it just ain't happening. All right. So eventually I just let it go. Said, okay, whatever. Went through Monday, whatever. I said, yo, I think, I kind of chilled. I said, it'll be fine. We're going to do it, whatever. Yesterday morning, I did everything. I mean, from the list that I had, I did everything within an hour and a half with the use of the tool. The hour and a half. So I was a week before. Now, granted, I could have done it the week before an hour and a half and not been stressed about it. But think of what we were talking about. I spent more time worrying about it than it took for me to actually do it. And so that's something to be like, oh, you can learn from that. Like, for me, I think a lot of times just getting started.
Well, it's old habits too, right? Because we in this new wave of AI and stuff like that. A lot of people, let's say this: you come from 75 years of being in business, so you ain't always had AI and automation. So for those that are workers, that are doers, AI and automation is an extension of, just like certain systems is an extension of, almost like another employee, if you will. Yeah. But for those that just use it, just to use it, thinking that it's their origination, that's where the problem comes in at. Because let's say AI decides it wants to take a vacation.
Yeah.
For a moment. It could be a moment, it could be a day, whatever. Then what do you do?
Yeah, well, that's it. Just as a sidebar with it, I mentioned to you. I mean, it's just another tool, like the internet. Like it just, and everybody wants it's going to replace this and replace that. Okay, when the internet came on, everybody was going to just go to the internet to write their papers and term papers in college. That's what everybody was going to take it. People were going to download term papers and do all that stuff. Well, to my knowledge, they still do some sort of term papers, something now. Now AI, they're going to do. Remember, as long as the end users are human, there's going to be a fallacy in the technology.
Correct.
Because we're imperfect.
Correct.
So it's always going to be there. Correct. But the tools, my thing is just a tool. So now I've created a system to deal with one anxiety. If I need to do something, because as you know, we got every tool known that we need. We got every tool, but it's incorporating it into my flow so that that we able to make moves. That's that's all it is. And so, it's just about, I think it's, and we probably revisit this one. We need an expert to come in here, though.
We're going to talk about
mental health person. Yeah.
Somebody else to come in.
Yeah. Because it's chaotic. As I said, the gas is still $20. I mean, some places is $20.
Remember this. Just remember, chaos doesn't go away. It just takes a different shape every time.
Yeah.
Right. And so just got to stabilize yourself.
Yeah.
The best you can. Surround yourself with good people. You might not, people at home, family, certain friends may not be able to even understand what kind of pressure or capacity you have based off of that. So that's why you surround yourself with like minds and,
Yep. And so
embrace it.
Yeah, because what you want to do is say, like, look, you got to get off of the stick. Like, you really got to work your way through it and try to figure out where you're going. And but mental health, which is a big subject in our community, is starting to become a bigger subject because there was no such thing as mental health problems as recently as 20 years ago. It's no such thing. So it goes into places now where we're doing things, and unfortunately, people kind of keep it on the low. They don't talk about it. So our business people, you know, it's hard, man. It's hard, and you have to sit there. That you have to figure out how to go through this stuff. It could be your faith, it could be a circle, but I want to get back to what you said earlier about advisory group. What happens, I feel like people hear these terms, these terms we use in business and business like things, and it gets overcomplicated for them. They start thinking overcomplicated. An advisor could be one of your customers that when you go to and you say, "Hey, I'm going to start doing this. What do you think? I'm going to start selling this. What do you think?" It could be
Just
a
a
group.
source. Just somebody
Yeah,
what color ink, what kind of printer should I buy? I
yeah.
remember I remember years ago when I was in I worked for this organization, pretty big organization. And my manager at the time said, "You'll know when you have when you'll know the success of a business relationship when your client calls you for the most randomest thing
Hmm.
in life."
Yeah.
And
That's
this is early in my days, right? And I was like, "Oh, okay." I took that mental note, put it aside. And I remember, I had this client that I was selling. He just kept buying, 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 buying. So we developed a good relationship. He calls me, leaves me a message on my work phone for me to call him immediately. So I'm
yeah.
thinking
Like
it's
what
an
happened?
yeah. So and I get the notification at 7 o'clock at night, right?
Mm-hmm.
Call him. He's in Staples and he's not sure what printer he needs to buy.
What call you for?
They're like, "Yo, you the only guy I know I could ask this question and gonna give me a good answer." I took a shot, and I'm like, "Huh?" And we like, "Yo, thank you for calling me back." I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah." And so we walked through the whole printer thing, and now that relationship, every now and then we still chat. We don't have no, I don't. There's no need for anything, but we chat like so it's Facebook or whatever every now and then. Check.
Yeah.
However, he's purchased more stuff at that time from me, and also sent referrals to me as well, which made my sales increase by like 15-20% over time, right? And so I mean that's the tail end of that. However, to your point, it could be a customer that is just a trusted source.
Yeah. I mean, this formal. You can make it formal down the line, but it can be customer. It could be, obviously, it's hard to make it your friends and family unless they are part of the business. But if they're part of the business, they're in there in advisory capacity. But you have to find someone that has an outside perspective, and it doesn't have the same shape. All of it is not necessarily to correct you when you're wrong. A lot of it is running your ideas past people and hearing their ideas and sharing ideas and saying, "Okay, yeah, this is when I did this, da 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 da." It's as important as the work you do. And but what it also does, it helps you get through the chaos. Oh my gosh, does it? I mean, if trust me, the number of times when I called, I mean, I got internal, what we talk about, but then speaking to another practitioner, you know, there's another level of talking about it. You're like, yeah, this person, can you believe they did this, da da da? And one thing about this profession is, from a technical end, if you were incorrect talking to your colleague, it will most likely come out. So that's a good thing. That's a check in a way. That okay, I'm not just off the rails, but in business too, when you speak to other business people, and that's the other thing, people get mistaken. It could be your quote unquote competitor.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a bunch of people you could talk to, but I think people are so siloed. People are really siloed in business. They don't have a group of people to talk to. So they try to go do this stuff on their own via the internet. I heard this. I watched YouTube videos of how to be a mogul.
Somebody told me.
Yeah, somebody, the infamous, whoever they are. I think I'm gonna get a t-shirt to say I'm they, but not in that way. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, we gotta say they who? They who? They what?
They who? Who's they?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's like you know, like it's an important thing, and it helps you survive the chaos. So that's the thing. So as I said, we were going to remind you of our events. We got events coming up. I'm gonna start making this.
Before we go into the event thing, let me just leave them with this. Chaos isn't necessarily a sign that something is broken. It's just a sign that something is growing without structure.
Yeah, well, that puts a pin in it right there.
Boom.
We could have started with that.
You gotta save the caveat for last.
That was pretty good right there. So
we began with that, they just click off.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. You know, we got an interesting crowd. So anyhow, let's talk about the events we have. Let's see if this comes up cool. Oh, look at this guy. April 25th, 11 a.m. Greater Durham Black Chamber of Commerce. Hayward CPA will be live and direct. Why you should BYOB, it got cut off. You know, I'm trying different ways to display it. Why you should BYOB, a workshop on why you should take bookkeeping seriously. It's important. It's part of your system, people. Make it part of your business's DNA. Well, might have to use that. Mm-hmm. So it's going on from 11 o'clock, our usual broadcast time, at the offices of the Greater Durham Black Chamber of Commerce. We'll be there at the minimum. Get to meet us live. It's like a meet and greet. Hey, how you doing? What's going on? You know, let's see what's going on. So that's going down. And then you have your graphic, which the next KWK is Thursday. This coming Thursday.
Yeah, it's this coming Thursday.
And then we have the Founders. What was it? Founders Circle. Wait.
Founders Hour.
Yo, man, this is a lot of founders. I did Founders Hour. I need a t-shirt and then it'll get embedded. We gotta do the t-shirt for that, man. Yeah. Founders Hour. Like a good place that could serve as has a function like the advisory we're talking about. It's nothing like talking to people that's in similar spaces and spaces of ahead. That's the great place to be. You can go sign up there. Let's see. You got a link to sign up?
Yeah, I got the link. Let me repost the link.
Put the link up.
Here's the link.
But if you want to get to the workshop,
you just check out all social media. It's all on there.
Yeah. Well, since we direct, you can send us an email.
True.
Here,
info at biztherapy.info. Here's the email right here.
Yeah.
Info at biztherapy.info.
Yep. And you can check us out next week. Slots are closing up, so you want to get there.
And then this week, I'll just share this right here. KWK.
There you go. Yeah, we got
KWK.
Oh yeah, you see, you put that one up there. I was just getting ready to put those.
KWK on YouTube at Biz Therapy Coaching. Conversations with Core. Co-host Safari Solutions. Come check us out.
Yep. So yeah, you do that. The workshop. I'll be doing some videos today with some commercials. So you'll see me everywhere. Probably on the YouTube channel. So you come back to YouTube channel, so you register. We get this happening. And in 2 weeks, it will be May. Be about your birthday, huh? Almost. Yeah, so it'll be May. So happy May, people. Have a great spring. Have the great rest of April. But come check us out.
If you have any questions, though, shoot us an email with those questions, right?
Yeah, please. Podcast at Hayward. Podcast at Hayward CPA.
Info at biztherapy.info as well. Any ideas, any topics, any chaotic things that you guys are going through, definitely reach out. Let's send us questions, send us thoughts, schedule a consultation. Either at HEYWARDCPA.com or biztherapycoaching.com. Schedule a consultation there as well. Matter of fact, we didn't talk about this. We have talked about it, but we didn't promote it here today. The business health checks. Come and come and see what areas you're falling short within your business and what areas need to be improved so you can reach your goals through utilizing our Biz Therapy small business health check. Okay. Short 15, 30-minute call, consultation, and we'll get you right through your first phases. And then if you want the big report, then we'll talk about next steps. But check us out.
Yeah. So you got to film the commercial for it.
It's on its way. It's on its way.
It's going down. All right. We out. Have a great Saturday. See you in a couple of weeks or next week or Thursday or whenever. All right then. Peace.